Hello, my lovely listeners. I'm Dr. Mary Barson.
And I'm Dr. Lucy Burns. Welcome to this episode of Real Health and Weight Loss. Good morning, lovely listeners. I am joined this morning by the gorgeous, effervescent, bubbly, excitable, lovely, gorgeous human, Dr. Mary. Not to build you up or anything.
No, that's right. I feel pressured to perform now. I feel like this podcast has to be extra effervescent.
Well, interesting that we're talking about it. I don't know, maybe a topic that doesn't cause effervescence for some people, but it's very topical for the moment. So I think this is a great, and again, the reason we're talking about this is because we've been asked a lot about it. And so we thought, well, why don't we just do a podcast on it? And it is talking about weight loss injections. So, I mean, weight loss injections are around, they're here to stay. They're a great tool for some people. They're potentially a tool that some people are using who probably don't need that tool. But that's not the discussion for today. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was the fact that particularly in Australia, but also around the world from my readings, is that there is trouble with supply of this particular medication. So we're talking about the injectable medications, in particular one that is marketed as Ozempic in Australia. It's also marketed as Wegovy, but we don't actually have that here yet. It'll come. And just the fact that the supply for people is really irregular and erratic.
And it's used as a treatment for type 2 diabetes and also used as a standalone, in Australia, still off-label use for weight loss. And it's hard to get hold of at the moment, which is creating angst and difficulty for a lot of people. And as we live and we work in empowering people to lose weight in a healthy way, like you said, Lucy, we do get asked a lot about weight loss injections.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a couple of things that we are learning about these medications. In particular, even things around protocols for people having surgery, for example. The protocols are still being developed as we learn about the side effect profile or the response profile for people as a whole. So, like any medication, you'll have what we call hyperresponders, so people that respond extremely well to low doses of medications. You'll have people that need higher dose, and then you'll have people that barely respond at all. And, maybe some of our listeners out there have said, I've tried that, it didn't work for me. And it's the same with the side effect profile. You'll have people who barely have any side effects, and other people who feels like you've just opened up the packet and you've already got the side effects. So we know that there is huge variation in that, and that for some people, the side effects immensely impact their quality of life.
Absolutely. I've seen and treated people who have come into the emergency department with really significant side effects of these weight loss tablets. But equally, I know that there are lots of people out there who are tolerating it really well. I think it'd be important for us to say here that we're neither dissing nor promoting this as a tool. So, people can choose to be on these medications, and that's a discussion for you and your doctor. And, if you want to make that informed choice, absolutely go for it. However, it's an action on itself. Taking a weight loss medication or a weight loss injection is an action that can be helpful, but it's not enough on its own, and that there are some really important, powerful steps that you can take to improve your health and wellness and your weight loss that can work really well with these weight loss medications and or work instead of these weight loss medications, and that this is a particularly important thing to discuss when there are supply issues. So if people want to know what they can do to lose weight without them or to lose weight on a lower dose.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, as lifestyle medicine doctors, we are, we love lifestyle interventions. For some people, they're enough. For other people, they need medication as well. But the beauty of a lifestyle first approach is that what it can enable you to do is then use the lowest effective dose of a medication. And I don't think there's a doctor in the world that wouldn't agree that the lowest effective dose is always a goal, because it vastly reduces the side effects. The lower the dose, the least side effects. The lower the dose, the lower the interactions with other medications can be. And the lower the dose, the cheaper for the patient. I mean, why would you want to pay double the price when you can get the same effect by only using half the dose? Huzzah. So for us, it's like, lowest effective dose. Now, for some people, the lowest effective dose is nothing.
Which is great.
Which is great. It's even cheaper. And for other people, the lowest effective dose literally is that. They go, you go up and look, you and I both have a look in various Facebook groups. These Facebook groups for people, support groups for people utilising these medications, they're incredibly busy, incredibly active, not always well moderated. And quite often the advice given in there is not by health professionals. So, people are going, oh, should I go up a dose? I don't have any side effects. I'm losing weight. And, there's 50,000 people putting in their opinion on whether somebody should go up a dose or not. So our firm belief is that everybody should be on the lowest effective dose. So there's a couple of ways in which we can do that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I also, I guess, just wanted to talk about some of the side effects, both short-term and long-term, that happen. And again, how do we minimize that? Lowest effective dose. So short-term side effects, I mean, as you've seen it, I've seen it. And again, not everybody gets this, but lots of people do. The medication is designed to work on a number of levels, but one of its levels is to delay gastric emptying. It's very effective at that. And the consequence of delaying gastric emptying is that you're fuller with less food and for longer, which is, that's reasonably helpful. But Maz, what are the side effects of delayed gastric emptying?
So people can feel quite nauseated and unwell, which is unpleasant. It is quite an unpleasant side effect. Often people cope with nausea less well than we cope with pain. Being nauseated is not much fun at all. Some people can also cause vomiting, diarrhea and constipation as well.
Yeah. And reflux is another problem because, again, if you've already got reflux and then you've got a stomach that doesn't empty, then your reflux will get worse. And, this is part of the issue with surgery is the delay in people's gastric emptying is very variable. So some people don't get much of a delay and other people, it can be days. They can have their stomach contents remain in there for days. And that's not how our gastrointestinal system is designed to work. So we now know that people having surgery who are also using these injectable medications often need to be off the medication for 1 or 2 weeks before their surgery to account for the fact that there are outliers in this gastric delay and nobody knows who they are. So they're the sort of gastrointestinal side effects, and the diarrhea can be intense. Let's just call it that. And it can be, for some people, like they can't leave the house. So it's not just, a touch of diarrhea. It can be really, people can't go to work. They can't do anything. So it's really, really not just an inconvenience necessarily. And so, there's some of the short-term side effects. And then the long-term ones that people really do need to be told about is that we do know that there is a decrease in muscle mass that comes with prolonged use of this medication. And that in itself can be problematic. For those of you who have listened to our podcast, we know that muscle, the bigger your muscles, the better your health. Let's just take steroid use out of that. But in general, the better your muscle mass, the better your health, better your metabolic health, the less frail you are, the less likely you are to have falls, the more food you can eat. So many wonderful benefits from having good muscle mass. And yet this medication does cause a decrease in it. You have to take active steps to reduce that.
Same with your bone health, like your bone mass.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, the manufacturers suggest, and again, it's very tricky because these haven't been around very long, but the suggestion is, and it would make sense to me, that if you're using this for weight loss, it's a long-term proposition. As you all know, we firmly believe that the thing you do to lose the weight is the thing you do to maintain it. And I think for a lot of people, they are perhaps told or believe the story that I'll use it until I get to my goal weight and then I won't worry about it anymore. And the evidence suggests that if you do that, it will all come back on. And in fact, the problem being that you'll then be in a worse metabolic state because your number goes back to being the same. And let's just pull out 100 kilos for ease. So maybe you were on it, you've lost 20 kilos, you've put back on 20 kilos. In the meantime, though, your muscle mass has decreased. So in fact, you've gained more fat than you had in the first place, unless you've done active steps.
So you've got that, unless you've got the right advice and the right sort of lifestyle changes to ensure that you can mitigate these long-term side effects, that you can stay well, then actually taking these weight loss medications may move you further away from your long-term goals rather than closer towards them, which is not what we want for anybody.
No. And no, everybody knows this. Nobody wants to lose 20 kilos only to put it back on again. Like nobody. No one has ever said that. Yeah, I'm happy as long as I'm thin for the wedding. I don't care then afterwards. Nobody ever says that. In fact, we see it a lot. People are panicking because their medication's not available. They've spent a lot of time, gone through the whole side effect profile, lost some weight, and now it's like, So, Maz, I guess in this shortages, and I'm going to be, maybe a little controversial and say that the people are being promised that the shortage will end soon. And we've all seen it, and I don't think it's ever going to end. And I'm going to be even more controversial to tell you that I actually think this is, and again, this is based on nothing other than my own opinion, but, there is some benefits to the pharmaceutical company by having a product that is in demand. So the supply and the demand, drives up the price for which they can charge governments, insurance companies, and all of those sorts of things for their product. So I suspect we'll find that for a long time this supply issue will come and go, and that it's never going to be just a constant, yep, here it is. There's plenty, everyone can have it, all of that stuff. So with that in mind, let's assume that everyone's in agreement that we should be doing the lowest effective dose. How do we do that, Mez?
Yes. Well, I think it's useful to think about how semaglutide works, how it improves our internal metabolic hormones in a way that is conducive to weight loss. That's one of the things that it does. It improves our insulin sensitivity, improves the effect of insulin in our body. So there is something that you can do with the way that you nourish your body, with making delicious food choices that work for you, that will do that as well. And actually will also increase your natural production of the type of hormones that semaglutide improves. And that's eating food that is as unprocessed as possible, eating food that is rich in protein, and eating food that is naturally lower in sugar and starch. You do those things, and then your body will also sort of make more of its own, semaglutide, if you will, but you also lower insulin, and you can heal the metabolic cause of being overweight in the first place. So it's a really safe way. It does not cause pancreatitis doing this. It does not increase your risk of reflux. In fact, for most people, it dramatically reduces reflux if you've got it. It has a myriad of health benefits and also works really synergistically with weight loss medications. So if you still need them, or you still want them, or you still choose to take them for whatever reason, it's going to work much better for you.
Yes, absolutely. So the name of these little hormones, if you like, there's a couple of them, and they're lumped in together to be called the incretin hormones. And in our programs, we teach people about this. Knowledge around particularly a medication that you may need to take forever is really important so that you can use the lowest effective dose. Okay, so that by doing so, you will save money, you will be able to ride through shortages, it will make your life better using the lowest effective dose. So we just want people to know that there is knowledge available in easy to digest forms that teach you about the incretin response, for which Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, they're all part of that. So, gorgeous ones, I think the key, we want to prioritize protein. We really want you to be able to use your medications at the lowest effective dose. We want you to have the knowledge so that you can make decisions that help you decide what is going to be the lowest effective dose. And because of this is why we've created a short program that teaches you all about this. It's really, it's not called the Companion's Guide to Ozempic, although maybe we should call it that, but it's really like that. It's like a companion guide. What can I do that's in my power to use the lowest effective dose? And that, my friends, is really the key to be able to then navigate the world of shortages, reduce the long-term and short-term side effect profile, and have you feeling the best you possibly can.
We want everybody to be empowered to live their best possible life. And that includes, if you're on these weight loss medications, to be on the lowest effective dose. And for that reason, we have created a wonderful 4-week program. We could kind of call it, like your Ozempic companion guide, but that's not what we've called it. We've called it the 4-week body rebalance. And it's this powerful 4-week course. You will learn everything you need to know for those simple, doable lifestyle changes to heal your metabolism, to be able to lose weight without being hungry, to make it easy and fit into your life in a way that will help you be on that lowest effective dose. Or for people who aren't on weight loss medications, it is relevant for you too. And we've got little episodes in there for people who are on weight loss medications to know how they can apply it and make it work for them.
If you'd like to learn how to get the most out of your Ozempic so that you can actually take the lowest effective dose, head over to our information page at rlmedicine.com/Oz, which is just little O, little Z. It's a 4-week program giving you every single thing you need to know to make your ongoing health and weight loss journey easy with the minimum effective dose. I think our mantra, most definitely, lowest effective dose, least amount of side effects, least amount of money outlaid, best possible outcome. It's what we want for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, gorgeous ones, have a beautiful week and we will catch you next time.
See ya.
So, my lovely listeners, that ends this episode of Real Health and Weight Loss. I'm Dr. Lucy Burns.
And I'm Dr. Mary Barson. We're from Real Life Medicine. To contact us, please visit rlmedicine.com.
And until next time, thanks for listening. The information shared on the Real Health and Weight Loss podcast, including show notes and links, provides general information only. It is not a substitute, nor is it intended to provide individualised medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor can it be construed as such. Please consult your doctor for any medical concerns.